having a pattern of accountability to apply what you're learning and to share it with others can take place from the moment someone enters the kingdom. To illustrate, I'd like to share with you how I like to follow up with a brand new believer. As soon as someone chooses to follow Jesus Christ, I like to tell them it's a great blessing to lead others to follow the Lord. It's a greater blessing to start a new spiritual community, and it's the greatest blessing to equip others to start new spiritual communities. Now, I want to help you start to have blessing, greater blessing, and greatest blessing. So I asked them to make a list of 100 people if they're able to read and write. If they can't, then I just asked them to tell me, to start listing off people that are their friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, any people with whom they have ongoing relationships. And then I have them pick 5 of these people that they want to share with right away about their decision. Once they've picked those 5 people, first I help them frame their testimony. And when I say frame their testimony, I'm talking about a very simple thing, essentially answering the question, why did I choose to follow Jesus Christ? That's it. For a new believer, that is their testimony, their salvation testimony, why they decided to follow the Lord. And then I help them learn how to share the truths of the gospel, the basics of the gospel, in an appropriate way, a contextualized way for whatever setting that they're in. And then I have them practice 5 times, once for each of those 5 people that they selected. So for example, if the first of their 5 was their cousin, I asked them to share with me their testimony and the gospel, pretending that I'm their cousin. And if they need to give me a bit of a background on their cousin, that's fine. And so then they role play sharing with me. And I may make some suggestions on how they might improve a little bit. And then we pick the second person. Let's say it's their brother. And so I say, you pretend I'm your brother, share with me. And they practice again. And so they go through 5 times for each of those 5 people that they selected. And when they finish that, usually they're becoming more comfortable and more fluent in their ability to share. And so I'll make an appointment with them, usually for a couple of days later, and then ask them to go share with those 5 people, and then come back and report to me in a couple of days. And I tell them, if any of them choose to follow the Lord, you tell them about the blessing, the greater blessing, the greatest blessing. You have them list their family, friends, neighbors, and co-workers. Then you have them pick 5. Then you help them learn to share their testimony and to share the gospel. And you send them out to do the same thing. And what I'm doing is setting up this expectation for them to apply what they have learned and to be passing it on to others. And if they come back and they haven't shared with people, then I try to find out, do they need me to go with them? Do they need to practice some more? What can be done? Because we need this to happen. If they have shared and no one believed, that's fine. We'll continue to go on to help them learn the basics of following Christ. If they have shared with others and they believed, I make sure they followed up appropriately. If not, I send them back to do that. And many times, someone has believed, and then they have shared with others, and sometimes you'll see 3 or even 4 generations of new believers as a result of following up new converts in this manner. So this is an example of how from the first day people can get in this pattern of applying what they've learned and sharing it with others. And you can see how that can compress the length of a spiritual generation a tremendous amount. They don't have to be mature before they begin to minister. They mature as they are ministering.